Good afternoon, tribe. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review of American Woman, Season 1, Episode 3. So this episode was all about the party in Malibu, right? The three girls, young women, sorry, I shouldn't say girls, are headed to Malibu. Are headed to Malibu for this big party. Now, Kathleen is really worried about the party because they're going to be meeting up with a big time. The party is at a big time agent's house in in Malibu, and she, her thing is, if I can make this connection, if I can hit things off with her, then that'll be great for the agency. We can go, we'll be casting for bigger and better films. Her quote was, "We'll be going from Alpo commercials to Spielberg films," right? Um, Bonnie is just happy to be getting out the house. She said, "It's been so long since I've been out of just party by myself. Like, I'm just excited. I scraped together money for a babysitter, and it's just gonna be epic." Um, Diana, Diana's being Diana. I don't know. She's just being a negative Nancy. And Kathleen is like, "Look, I don't need your negative vibes. We got to stay positive. We got to make these connections." And so they go back and forth, and she kind of calls her boring. Kathleen calls Diana boring. Bonnie's like, "Look, stop all the bullshit. Let's go." So they get to the party, and it is the cliche, typical 70s party. People doing drugs. As soon as they walked in the door, Bonnie was propositioned by a couple that wanted to know if she wanted to go upstairs and swing. And a dude walks up to Diane and is like, "Look, did I meet you at the last party? I forgot your name, but I was kind of drunk, but I think we hit it off." So, of course, everybody thinks it's just a line, right? Like, "Oh, she's just using a line. He's just using this line. He's hitting on her." He's like, "Would you like to go get a drink?" So, of course, Diana's like, "Sure. And, of course, remember, they had told Diana she was boring, and she was like, "See, look, the boring one has a date. The boring one, is having a drink." So, come to find out, he had gotten her mixed up with somebody else altogether, because she starts talking about her job at the bank. And he actually was talking to her because he really thought she was the chick at first. But then she started boring him, talking about her job and, just being boring. You know what I mean? And the real chick that he had actually met actually walks up, and she's like, "Hey, didn't we meet last week? I'm Donna." I think her name was like Donna or something. And he was like, "That's right. I knew it was a D. Oh, man." And she was like, "I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt y'all's conversation." And he was like, "You're not interrupting nothing." And they end up walking off. So, uh, of course, Diana's feelings a little hurt. And she's like, "Well, damn, like, that's fucked up, right?" She stumbles into the party. She runs into, it's supposed to be like what's my girl from Fleetwood Mac? Not Carl. Is it Carly Simon? It's not Carly Simon. Oh shoot, I can't think of her name. But y'all know who I'm talking about. Fleetwood Mac, the one that's, real free spirit. Oh God, I can't think of her name. But it's supposed to be like her. I don't think it's supposed to be her in real life, but it's a character like that. And Diane is like, "I love you. Your album got me through a depression in high school. Oh my goodness, can I have your autograph?" And of course, this isn't that kind of party, because everybody there is somebody. So you're walking around asking for autographs, you automatically are letting people know you probably ain't even supposed to be here, kind of thing. So people are looking at her like an autograph, but she don't care. She's oblivious to it. And a dude offers her some coke. First the lady offers her a pill. I think was it ecstasy? So she took the pill. Then somebody else offered her some coke. And at first she was like, "No, I shouldn't take it." But she ends up doing the coke and drinking her alcohol. Like, she watches it all down with her alcohol. So y'all already know that that's about to be a disaster. We'll get back to her. Bonnie. Bonnie gets away from the couple trying to get her to swing by running into somebody from the neighborhood who's like, "Oh my gosh, Bonnie, oh, you're so brave to be here. I wouldn't be able to show my face after the humiliation." And Bonnie is like, "You're a bitch," and I'm moving on. Runs into a chick at the buffet. And they get to having a nice conversation, and she's like, yes, I'm an actress, and I'm here with my boyfriend, and and Bonnie's like, oh wow, yeah. She's like, I used to act too, back in New York. And she's like, and the girl only has like three things on her plate. She's like, is that all you're gonna eat? She said, well, yeah, me and my boyfriend are going to the beach this weekend, and I want to look good in my bikini, and they're actually having a really good conversation, right? Then she hears this familiar voice. It's her husband. Come to find out, the chick that she been standing there talking to is the girlfriend that he's been cheating on her with. So, that turns into a whole scene, and Bonnie is just over it. And, to her friend's credit, Kathleen is like, do you want to leave? Bonnie's like, no, I'm not going to let him push me away. I'm going to stay. I'm going to have a good time. And we're going to, we're going to forget that he's here. We're going to enjoy ourselves. So they end up, she stays, and she ends up meeting this guy. And they flirt a little bit. She ends up spilling her wine on him. And, it turns into a thing. And they end up having sex, right? They end up having a great night together. The Kathleen actually builds up enough nerve to go and talk to this agent. She's been spying her all through the party all night, and she actually builds up the woman runs out of cigarettes, and Bonnie and Kathleen uses that as her end to go and give her the cigarette, and they start talking. And she says, look, I'm just opening up a new agency. You have any, advice for a first timer and all that? And the woman tries her. The woman says something really nasty to her. And Kathleen is about to walk away with her tail tucked between her legs, And she says, that's your first lesson. She said, if I ran off and cried, every time a man says something nasty to me in this environment, like, you can't let him see you sweat. Somebody say something nasty to you, you say something nasty back. You let them know that you got balls too, and that you're not going to be a pushover, But she takes her business card and everything, and, next thing you know, we see Diana is up on the roof of the house in her bra and underwear. It could have passed for a bikini, but it wasn't. It was her bra and underwear. And she's giving this speech about how she's fun and this world is bullshit. And like she just, all of her frustration because she's high as hell. Or as my mother would say, Cooter Brown. I don't know who Cooter Brown is, but my mama would say, she's high as Cooter Brown. And she gives this big old speech and she calls out the dude. She was like, I'm fun too. You're an asshole. And I mean, like this whole thing. And then she jumps off the roof into the pool. And she comes out of the water and everybody's clapping because everybody is, I don't know if everybody thought it was a performance piece or what. But they're all clapping. She swims to the edge of the pool and proceeds to throw up. And then everybody's like, ugh. So, the big time agent Kathleen runs to get her out the pool, help her out the pool and everything. And she's like, are you okay? What are you doing? And the agent comes over to Kathleen and says, is she with you? And Kathleen says, yes, she is. She said, now that took balls. And walks off. So I think, the fact that Kathleen stood firm that that's my friend, as big of a fool as she just made of herself, she is my friend. She belonged to me. And they were able to make that connection. And so, all in all, that's really what that's what the episode was about. But you just see the three friends have these three little things happen to them. Now I don't know if Bonnie and this dude, if it's going to extend past that night. I don't know if it's going to be anything beyond that night, but they definitely had a connection. And to Bonnie's credit, she wasn't trying to turn it into no romance or whatever. She got up, got dressed, and I think they did exchange information. But it'll be interesting to see where that goes from there, if that turns into anything. And then the situation with the agent, it'll be great to see if they actually were able to make a connection and she can build on that for her agency. So somehow or another, there's some sort of connection that's going to get Bonnie back into the business. So we'll see how that evolves. All right, you guys, that is your review. Hope you like it. Drop it in the comments. Let me know what you think.